Good afternoon, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I hope you are doing well. It's Wednesday, and because it's raining, we are in the greenhouse today. We're going to be starting some dahlia tubers so that we can take cuttings, and we have some more seeds to start. So far we've hardly had much rain at all. Supposedly this afternoon is when all the major rain is coming in. So yeah, I'll probably get trapped out here. And it's chilly. It's 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's cold and raining and very windy. We've got 35-mile-an-hour gusts right now. That 50 degrees feels a lot colder than 50. A lot of things arrived. Like I said, the dahlias arrived. I'll show you those in a minute. The lisianthus arrived this morning, as expected. It will be a few days before we can get them out there. Probably not till next week because of all the rain that's coming in. But I'll give you a look at them. The shipper mangled the box, and one of the flats, when I pulled it out, a bunch of the plugs were all like piled up on top of the tray. They had all been so I think that box was tossed around a lot. But for the most part, they look good. There are some broken stems, but I think they'll be okay. These plugs are much bigger than the ones I had last year. Last year they came in, I don't have one of the plug trays here, they came in like 288 size plug trays. And so these are 128, so they're bigger plugs, which is great because these were 3 weeks back ordered, and the fact that they're already coming to me bigger is really good. Maybe we won't be too far behind in the season. Lisianthus takes a very, very, very long time to grow. It might take 12 weeks to get from a seed to a plug that's big enough to plant. And so that's why I buy them in. It's just easier. I don't have to coddle seedlings for that long. And then I can be sure of the germination and all that kind of stuff because somebody else is doing it for me. So I'll show you these real quick and you can get a look at them. Okay, so this is the Corelli 2 light pink, and I'll just take one out. That is a much bigger plug than we had last year, which, like I said, is great. These are nice and moist. They're just going to hang out in here until we're ready to go. I do need to cover them every night. And the other two are down here. This one is Celebrity Yellow. You can see there's some broken stems and stuff. And this is the tray that was really mangled. It had like probably 30 plugs on the surface of the tray. And then I was able to pop them back down inside, but there has been some damage. They'll be fine. But this is Summer Orange. And again, a little mangled, but I think they'll be okay. I mean, some of these stems are broken back here. Hopefully they'll bounce back. So I got those plugs from Farmer Bailey, who do an amazing job. But they are a broker, and I think those came from, I don't know the name of the farm, I'll have to look it up. But it was here in California, because a lot of times I get them from Grow and Sell, but that's all the way back on the East Coast, and I'm trying to limit my carbon footprint in terms of shipping things like that. So all right, so the lisianthus are here. I'll make sure I cover them every night to keep them safe. Everything else in here is growing amazingly well, and I'm anxious to get things out. I need to bump up all these guys, and there's a second tray of that. And as you can see, even the marigolds and stuff are getting big. So a lot of things need to get bumped up and or just planted out. I get my dahlia tubers from Swan Island. There's lots of good purveyors of dahlias out there, but this just happens to be where I get mine. So the box arrived. One of the things I love is that they include tags for you. Don't have to write them out. That's so awesome. And on the tag, it not only has the name, but it tells you like what the size is, what the color is. That's pretty cool. Especially because when you have the tubers, in front of you, unless you know that tuber for sure, you don't remember what it looked like just based on the name usually. And so if you're going to do anything like create a color gradient or anything in your field, or put all the dinner plates together and all the ponds together and all that kind of stuff. It's really nice to have a tag that tells you that, because you can't tell by looking at the tubers. So, okay, so speaking of the tubers, this is my bag of tubers. There are 17 in here, so not a lot, but some of these are quite expensive, but that's okay. These are the ones that sell the best and are most in demand in terms of what florists want. So I got these guys, and I'm going to increase the number of dahlias I have right now instead of waiting until the end of the season when I pull them up and get extra tubers by making cuttings, by taking cuttings. So what we're going to do is we're going to pot up each of these tubers and, of course, label them. And then as they grow, as they sprout, we'll be cutting off those cuttings and potting those up as well, and they will become individual plants that are a clone of the original tuber. So this is a great way to increase your stock without having to buy multiples of the same tubers, because they can be expensive. Some of these, I think there's one in here that's $24. Some are as low as $5 and others are $14, $16. So you can see that adds up really quickly if you're going to be doing a lot of dahlias. All right, so let me show you how we're going to pot one of these up. It's different from how you plant them in the soil, because we're going to leave a portion of them sitting out of the top of the soil. Okay, so I'm starting off with a just basic potting soil. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just basic potting soil. And I'm just, it's already kind of damp, but I'm going to dampen it a little bit more. All right, so I've got these 4-inch pots. These are left over from nursery containers from buying things. I save them for things like this. This is a great size for these tubers. I'm just going to fill this up. Not really all the way. And then we're going to add a tuber. Now, here's one. And like I said, they come with labels, but obviously there's no label attached to this. However, they are stamped. Hopefully you can see that. It says Cherish. So as long as you can read that, you know what kind of what kind of dahlia you have. So what we're going to do is we're going to bury the tuber, but we're going to leave the neck exposed. And you know, this has a long neck, so probably up to about there. But some of them, the necks are just right on top of the tuber itself. So literally just doing that. That's it. Putting the label in. There we go. Now, marked and ready to go. I'm actually going to give it just a tiny bit more water here. And then we're going to set up a tray and put all of these in the tray. And they will go sit on a seedling heat mat, and they will start to produce shoots off of the top of this neck where the eyes are. At that point in time, we'll come in and we will cut off those new shoots with a little bit of the eye, and we will pot those up as cuttings. They will become a whole new plant. This process can take anywhere from a week to 2 weeks. It just depends on the tuber and the situation, the environment and stuff. So we're going to put these guys on a heat mat, and that will help move them along a little bit. Remember, dahlias want heat, not intense heat, but they want heat. All right, so let me get the rest of these guys potted up. I'll put them in a tray and we'll get them set up on a mat. The rain is really coming down now, so I will try to edit some of that out with some filters. But dahlias are in, so they're on seedling heat mats. This is not absolutely required, like I've in the past not put them on heat mats, but I'm going to go ahead and do it this time to kind of speed things up a little bit. You might be wondering why we're leaving the neck out and above the soil surface, and it's really just for ease of taking your cuttings. You could completely bury them like you normally do, completely bury them in the soil, and when the cuttings come up, you could scrape away all the soil in order to get a good cutting. But it's a lot easier if it's exposed. They will still sprout like this, and then you'll have a nice clean cutting to go ahead and pot on. So that's why we do it that way. Next up, I've got more seeds I need to start. This is just for 6 packs for customers, for vegetable boxes. This is Bopac, which is a type of pak choi. And then this is the lettuce is May Queen. It's a really nice, like loose butterhead lettuce. Really nice. And then here are more stuff for the flower farm. So no real pictures except for the zinnias. But we're going to be doing, so this is all grasses. I grow grasses every year, but I've really narrowed down what I grow now. Last year, everything but a few of the millet, which are my very favorite, got eaten. And so I'm really trying to avoid that this time because these are such beautiful grasses. I'll put some photos in for you. So the 4 that I have settled on that I will always be growing are Purple Majesty millet, Limelight millet. These 2 are just stunning, and they have so many different uses, from fresh to dried. So I really love them. They get huge too. They're really tall plants. I also really love the Highlander grass. There's a lowlander variety as well, but Highlander is the one that I've really settled on. And then green drops is another one that I really like. Now I'm also growing bunny tails, which I love. They're adorable. They're cute, but it's hit or miss on length of stem. So the first year I grew them, I got super tall stems and they were awesome. Really kind of a pain to harvest though, because they are extremely thin. They're like thinner than a piece of angel hair pasta. So when you're cutting, it's just kind of a pain. You have to take a lot more than you really want. But I'm growing those because I have the seed and I want to use up the seed. Now, another round of zinnias, and we got a round of zinnias back here. These guys will be another succession. I'm probably going to do 4 successions this year, as long as I can keep them alive in the field. So we're going to have Queen Lime with Blush. I'll try to put a photo here for you. Then we've got this new one from Botanical Interest, Key Lime Pie Blend. So it's got like the white and the green zinnia. Then we're going to have Polar Bear zinnia. And then more floret until I'm going to use these till I run out. This is Dawn Creek Pastels and Golden Hour. So I'm doing all of these in soil blocks in the small blocker. This guy here, 20 blocks per punch. So each of these will get 20, and so that'll be 20 purple millet, 40 limelight, and then 20 of each of the grasses and 20 of each of the zinnias, except probably do 40 of the polar bear because that's a brand new package and I have more seeds of that. Okay, I'm gonna get started making these. You guys have seen this before, but I'll go ahead and film it for you anyway. And this will be it for today. course, my battery in the camera ran out. And it's definitely raining more now. I wish I'd brought my umbrella or my rain jacket. That's still in the house. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, you guys. We got the seeds started. They are right here on this seedling heat mat, and I will cover those tonight just to keep them a little bit extra warm. We're not going to go down that cold. In fact, the temperature is barely going to move. It's just going to kind of stay here because we've been cloudy all day, so it's not like the sun heated things up, and there's going to be so much cloud cover and rain that they can't get super cold. So, but I will put a dome on those just so they can have a little bit of extra heat and some humidity. And I'll probably dome the dahlias as well. Actually, I'm changing my mind on that. I've noticed that if I cover cuttings, even before they start like that, that they tend to mold really rapidly. So I'm just going to leave them exposed, and that'll be fine. I would love to keep potting things up, but I just don't have space in here to put anything else right now. So before I can bump things up, which they need, I'm going to have to start getting creative and finding some places to put these, because once they come out of the 6-packs, they're going to take a lot more space. So yeah, I guess I can use the potting table. Just have to put all that stuff somewhere else. And we still have more sunflowers that I need to start. So yeah, still a lot more to do this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.